play a game.
Hello. Well, where's my head? Hang on. There I am. I better go back in the middle because we've got shorts on tonight. Short stream, not short pants. There you go. All right, we are in East Coastway. I've just started up Bridge Strike. Welcome to Brighton. You've taken a break between services. Time to get back to your train and drive 1G45. Better turn these things on so I go to the right one, huh? It might be handy. And hello to Jerry Mathers, and thank you for joining up as an engineman, Jerry. And hello to Vital Aspect Gaming, Rob Powell, Mark B. Why is there someone in the chair? Oh, they've disappeared now. There was someone in that chair, I'm pretty sure. I'm supposed to talk to this person, aren't I? G'day. How you doing? Oh, I've just heard that there's a lorry stuck under a bridge just before Lewes. They've put up signs for an emergency speed restriction. Well, shit, eh? Oh, she buggered off. Okay. Hopefully my controller thing will work today. Let's see if it does. Woohoo! It does. Okay. Set the reverser to neutralis. And is that neutralis? No, it's forwards. Maybe we can go another one. Probably do some headlamps. Day running looks good. And tail lamps off. And unlocking the doors. So how are people today? Hello, Benjamin. How are you? Rob Powell says the Czech route went over really well yesterday. It did, yes. Remarkably well. I was watching that from very early this morning. 6 a.m. And I was awake. Yep. That's okay. Oh, look at that.
How dare you?
Nice one, Greta. Nice to see a bit of smoke. It's nice to see Brighton busy, to be honest with you. With all sorts of different stock. It's cool. Because, you know, it was a little on the empty side before. So shall we get out of here? We probably should. Wah, wah. We're supposed to buzz back, aren't we? Oh, I can do that from here. Oh, you can't see the controller today, can you? Now, PBC thing. Oh, hang on. No, it'd be helpful if I actually put the reverser back into forwards. Set it to P3. That's very specific. We should probably do this too. Beep, beep. You're good, Benjamin. Excellent. Gary says, Gary, not Jerry. I'm just an Aussie, mate. It sounds different, that's all. You have a question, Benjamin. Hit it. Rob Powell says, oh, I will leave a lurk. Sadly, time for me to start work. I've smashed that like button. Thank you. Enjoy your day at work. Set it to B2. It's very specific, isn't it? Oh, what's a running brake test? Okay, observe drop in speed, then release the brake. Fair enough, off we go. Benjamin says, you know when you're approaching a red and you go through a go via and it changes to green, is that prototypical? No. No, it's not. No, that's usually what they've done to make the timetable work. You might see it in certain circumstances, but it would be very rare to pull a signal off in front of a driver. Or drop it back for that matter. It's considered poor form. As we head out across the gigantic bridge. Or viaduct. Yeah, little 171. Oh, we don't have tail lights. Perhaps we should put those back on auto. It told me to turn them off. That's interesting. Let's have a look down the back. Do we have them now? Yeah. I don't think they're on. Are they on at the front? Do I have to go at the back and set them maybe? Yeah, they're on at the front. Okay, maybe I have to go and set them off at the back. Oh, hang on. If I do that... They're off there. Time to stop anyway. Oh no, 2.7 miles away. Get out of the way! We'll just pretend we've got tail lights on the back and it's fine. So we head to Falmer. Hopefully people are good. Oh, let me move out of the way of the speedo a little so you can watch the speedo. What about go over here where it's empty? That looks good, doesn't it? Yes, apart from my arm, which is using the controller thingy. I should set the camera back up for that thing, shouldn't I? What if I can do it? You'll end up seeing my messy desk. Scene for thing. Oh, well, that's pretty close, actually. That's not too bad. That way? Yeah, see? Messy desk. That's what I was thinking too. That way. Right. So if I turn that, which is always easier than turning the camera. There we go. There you can see the beast. Oops, not in focus. There we go. Got it. Lucky. 2 miles to Falmer. The only time you might be approaching a red that does come off in your face is, I've seen it in UK practice with a diverging route, but the driver would be aware that that was a diverging route, and they'd still slow down to a speed where they could stop for the red in case it didn't come off, but they would be expecting it to go green and turn. Now on the railway I work on, we actually do quite regularly come storming up the hill at full power into a red. But what you do is you watch the level crossing that's right after it, and if the gates start to go and the lights start flashing, you know the signal's going to come off. So as long as you're not doing more than the speed between the whistle board and the signal, it'll be green by the time you get there. Or it calling on, one or the other. Depends whether there's something in the platform or not. So Stara Parker, who watched the stream today. Samantha's Buses, hello. You have Guinness, what can go wrong? I have apple juice. That's what that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Hello Melbourne train dude. I'm okay, I hope you are as well. Are you coming into Steam Rail and am I bringing a 1070 for you? I was about to say a 2070, but I haven't got a 2070, I've got a 1070. That'll get you going with Train Sim Classic. MTD says I watched some preview, looks interesting and fun. Oh, it's a go via Falmer. Okay. Not stopping at Falmer at all. I'm just silly, clearly. Benjamin says apple juice with a kick. I have no idea what you're talking about, young man. You can't make it. Wah. Yes, it is. And you're required to make a running brake test before descending. Are you going to watch me do it, or you just want me to do it? We're good. Is it actually going to want me to do that? No, it's actually going to want me to do that, isn't it? But interestingly, it's going to want me to do that before we go down the hill, not after. That's alright. Samantha's Buses, I will go to Steam Rail on Saturday morning. Hello, Train Sim World 6 Gamer 23. That's incredibly specific. Are you going to change your channel name in August when Train Sim World 7 comes out? I doubt that's news to anybody. Boop. B2. Bananas in pajamas are coming down the stairs. Go via emergency indicator. So somewhere up here there'll be a truck stuck under a bridge. This is what we're doing. How much is 171 and the 373 pack? Something like £13, I think. Something in that vicinity. So Australian wise, about 25 bucks, something in that vicinity. Benjamin says, I ran a timetable on East Coast Way earlier and entering Brighton. The HUD shows a yellow and sends you through a red, resulting in a SPAD. Same thing happened to Matt at the weekend. Well, that's special. Not in a good way. If you can Discord me the name of the service, etc., I can pop in a report for it, or you can pop it in on the Dovetail Discord. I go through a slightly less noisy channel, but there's no more guarantee it gets looked at on that channel than the main one, but we try. Don't know why my mouse wouldn't turn around then. Look at that weird grass. Oh, it's loading in now, it's better. One of the things I did notice on Star Parker was that the low-res LOD for the tree is the same shape as the tree, which means they don't pop in as much. But I'll wait till I see that on my computer. MTD says, what? TSW7? I'm shocked. I have no idea what to do with myself. It's Rivet's fault, though, I'm sure. I'm sure they'll work on it. I'm sure the routes are already getting built. That's probably what Rob Powell's gone to do right now. He's probably choking on his coffee right at the moment, too. You can't talk about that. Hello, Haven fan. Welcome along. So we're looking for an emergency TSR. East Coastway is £30. Yes, it is. But if you've already got East Coastway, yeah. Look at that. It even has a magnet. Nice. That's just warning us that there's an emergency coming. Emergency nicknamed a Dalek warns of an emergency speed restriction ahead. The next time we'll be at the breaking point. And we have a yellow signal as well, so we're slowing down for that too. So it's not this bridge, clearly. How much East Coastway? Oh, you answered that question. It's good. Any new routes coming soon? Star Parker is coming soon. And while the release date has not yet been released for the 145, that will certainly be coming out soon too. She'll be on our way. Samantha's buses goes Train Sim World 7. Train Sim Classic TV 77.6. It could be a radio station. No, we have a 20. 20 miles an hour, but begin braking now and keep an eye out for workers near the track. If you see any, sound the horn. I would have thought you would actually do that now. That's what we do with ours. When we get the yellow, you whistle or sound the horn. Until you see a green. And if you don't see a green at the next one, you'll have to come to a stand. Ooh, rain. Delightful. Just what we want. I thought this was summer. Is this the bridge? Train Sim World 6 Gamer 23 says, should I get an Xbox? Local DLC will be the 145. That will be the next one coming out. That's the Expert 145. Maybe it's this bridge. Better look underneath, huh? Let's have a look. No, it's not that one. This one? Ooh, we went through a house. Oh, there it is. Look at that. I think we have to stop up here. We'll just park on top, because, you know, it's good for doing this. It just seems necessary, really. We should probably do a proper one too, shouldn't we? Wallet cleanser. Oh, excellent. I think we might move the focal point up a bit. There we go. And let's just take the screenshot. We don't have to muck around too long here. All right, let's pop out of there. It's nicely munched up, I have to say that. He's got that crunchy feeling. Yes, wallet cleanser indeed. You'd have it an expensive insurance job there. Excellent. Off we go. And the question about whether you should get an Xbox, it's depends what you like playing. The better graphics is probably actually the PS5, but the Xbox X is decent. It does run better on PC than both of them, but if you're interested in a console, you could always sit on your hands for a little while and see what the Steam machine's going to do. It's been delayed because Elon Musk has bought all of the RAM in the world and sticking it in his bum hole so he can run AI in his bum. So if you don't mind waiting, you could wait and see what happens with the Steam Deck, or you could go shopping for a console. I would go looking out for sales though. I got my Xbox on sale, and it was a return. Train World 6 Gamer 23 says you can use the 171 on BML. You can if you spawn it in, but no, not in timetables, says Melbourne Train Dude, which is correct. They run from Brighton to Ashford International. Yes. When's the next West Coast mainline route coming? That has not been announced as yet. So we know there is something coming, but we don't know when. So there's Preston would be the next component, I suppose. My gut feel is there's other routes that are closer to production than that one. So now that we've gotten past the crinkle cut truck, we have the always uncomfortably close stop at this signal.
This is Lewes.
G'day Lewes, how you doing mate? That one's off to Brighton. And ours is off to Ashford Intel. West Coast Mainline, Trent Valley does not have a date yet. Preston Crew doesn't have a date yet. No, it doesn't. Neither of them do. There hasn't been much in the way of train sim hype as yet for those routes. No, you shouldn't have buzzed me out there, little guard, but I'll buzz you back because we can't go anywhere because we've got a red signal. We've got to wait for him. Otherwise there'd be crunching noises like that, what that truck heard. C says I didn't get a notification that you were live. How rude. Oh, it is rude, I suppose. Hello, C. How are you, mate? It's your big day, isn't it? Not that you can talk about your big day, but that's okay. We should get the green now. There we go. Yes, Preston Crew will come from Just Trains. It's likely a new PlayStation coming soon. The PS5 should come out soonish. The PS5 is out. But yes, there may be another PlayStation. Could be this year, could be next year. My gut feel is they'll do what Valve has done and they will sit on their plans. Because RAM, hard to get, expensive. Holy Trucker says the scam expert train is next. Why is it scam? Because they won't layer it without selling the layer to you. What's wrong with that? Wouldn't you pay? It's probably already in the timetable. It'll substitute for other 145s, I imagine. Hello, Gregory Marsh. Message retracted. I didn't actually see what it was. You'll be fine, C. You saw my text message, I hope. Because that's your answer. Train Sim World 6 Gamer 23. If you don't have East Coastway yet, I would wait for a sale and get it on sale, because it is an older route. Even though it's been remastered, I would still sit on your hands for a little while. If you're on Steam, the next sales based on when they were last year aren't terribly far away. Xbox and PlayStation will have a little wait though. Off we go to Glind, the Good Witch. Haven Fan says, will the East Coastway 2020 timetable get fixed for Xbox? It should. I actually thought they had. Are you telling me it's not? Because it was meant to be. Maybe there's a truck under this bridge too. Let's look. No, it'd have to be a big boat. Very big boat. We're going full howl on the 171. Maximum possible power, which is about 3 donkeys. Gregory says, in the words of Jane May, this is gripping. Oops, I'm going a bit fast too, aren't I? Oh no, it's alright, we're going left, it's fine. Keep forgetting we're not going to Seaford. Samantha's Buses says, waiting for that Stourbridge Town Line DLC so I can make a review and call it linear. Well, there you go. This one's 2 linear. Well, I suppose it's 3, really. If you consider it the other end as a Brighton. What I always wonder when I'm driving this train is how come I can hear the Victoria Police helicopter? Because it always sounds like that. Ladies, how you doing? Good milk today? Mind you, I could actually be hearing the Victoria Police helicopter. I do, after all, live in a suburb that's frequented by it. And perhaps it does actually come here every time I drive a 171. That is possible. Holy Trucker says, where's the money in that, Paul? You will see it will be 1 or 2 routes max. Oh, I think it will probably layer in across anywhere that runs a 145, surely. That would be my expectation. I mean, I might be wrong, but that would be what I think. C says, I did make good help loads and I replied to you. Excellent. Train Views UK, hello to you. You'll get on Steam, Train Sim World 6 Gamer 23. And I'm supposed to stop and I'm going very, very fast. Sand, sand, sand. This doesn't feel good. I think we'll have 0 doors in the platform in a moment. Oh, let's go via. No problem. Let's keep going then. Your weekly operating notice shows another speed restriction ahead near Berwick. Be on the lookout for the speed indicator. This restriction is planned for track maintenance, so there'll be no Dalek. Look at that, it tells us where it is. 3.9 miles away. Let's bang. Mark B says the next Steam sale is 19th of March. See? That's what it was last year. Melbourne Train Dude says the Expert 145 is already confirmed to be going on a fair few routes, with an Expert Bremen to Oldenburg one already being worked on. Yeah, there's been a few indications that it's going to go out, but I would expect it would absolutely substitute anywhere a 145 would go. Because unless they don't put those tags on it, it would just will by itself. New York Texas Railroad, hello to you. Haven Fan 2, but that's not there. C says Samantha is the bus like the train at Stourbridge. Gav says train speed is 2 cows and a donkey. Yes, that seems fair to me. We crawl along through the fields of dreams. Oh, wheat. Yes, wheat. Lots of garbage bags around. 3 miles to the warning board. Melbourne Train Dude says you'd hear Pole there a lot in Franger. Yes, you do. It's around a lot. Samantha says the helicopter is your guilty conscience. Stop stealing cars. That is a common pastime around here. Holy Trucker says, Sea Train Sim Society had a 20-minute cry over the free remaster today. No, I hadn't watched it. I can't say I'm that excited, because if I go near him, his minions will attack me. Haven says, will Cardiff City get a remaster? I would imagine probably in 7 or 8 years' time, like the others. Because, you know, it's only just come out, Cardiff City. It's quite a baby. Bloody a young'un. Wee woo, wee woo. Samantha says, yes, see, less than a mile long, has the Parry people moves bus-looking things. Steve Austin, hello. Thanks for your guides on the Cobra software. I got your my HOTAS working in this. Well, that's good. Excellent. It does work with pretty much any joystick, really, that actually is genuinely a joystick, so it should. I had a bit of an issue with it the other day because I tried putting on Zusi 3 and it installed some weird Euro-only version of .NET 8, and that blew everything up, and it took me a little while to fix my computer. I was staring down the double barrel of a Windows reset at the time, but I managed to fix it. See, he says, I've seen that on YouTube, Samantha. They really want to just ride it. We're still talking about buses here, just to be clear. What are they trying to ride? I'm confused. Sounds rude. Holy Trucker says, HOTAS is good fun in this? Yeah, it would be. It's a bit like using this thing. It's just going to be advantageous, isn't it? Gav says, not like Matt saying he's a donkey. Oh, I clipped that. I may or may not have posted that in my Discord. The other one I clipped was Harry at the start, when Matt said, Harry, say something, and she went, yeah. So I clipped that. Seemed fair. It's not actually this one you have to slow down for, is it? It's the next one. Warning, TSR. Looks like they finished work early. The slash instead of a speed is a skateboard, which means the speed restriction is no longer in effect. You can ignore the rest of the signs. Party on, dude! Off we go to pole dance. See ya, Haven fan. Hello, Daniel Robert Jowett. How are you? New York, Texas says you can't cry over something that's free. This is true. I'll have to watch the video now. Just out of curiosity. The only downside of that, of course, is he gets a view, which means he gets money. But that's okay. He is, after all, a full-time content creator. He has nothing else in his life. Benjamin said he's sad about all the 2D foliage and claimed releasing the remaster and DLC at the same time caused a right mess of confusion, only if you can't read and comprehend. Yeah, I haven't met anybody that was confused, to be honest. And they weren't technically released at the same time anyway. They were about 24 hours apart. Technically. What do you think the main source of employment at Polegate is? Trainviews UK says Cardiff City Network is nearing 1 year since release. Yeah, it probably is. It's getting up there, but it is still only a baby compared to this one. Because this one came out in 2020. It's a little while. It's 6 years ago. C says, no, Paul, the train, Paul, the train. Oh, it's like the plane boss. MTD says, Harry is a right gem. She actually is. She's a very awesome individual. I sat down to do about a 10-minute interview with her at Dovetail Towers last year, and we ended up chatting for about an hour about life for the universe and everything. And then we did the interview, and the interview went for about 35 minutes, and it has got a podcast episode. Gav says, I cracked up laughing so much. Damn, Harry. Yes, it was fun. The other thing I clipped was Matt Spad, where he went, The People Mover is a class 139. Daniel says, not too bad, thanks. A little tired now after the night shift. Well, welcome home. Hopefully you're home and you're about to go to sleep. Although sleeping during the day is always a bit of a pain in the bum. My other half used to do it sometimes. When she worked for our national carrier called Qantas. Holy Trucker says you need to send Trained in Society a pacifier to suck on. No, I don't need to do that. He sucks all by himself. Doesn't need any help. I'm sure he thinks the same of me too, which is fine. He's perfectly entitled to that belief. Oh. Bush Sim World. Next up, pole dance. Melbourne says definitely not poles or dancers. Yard gate and gate accessories, that's possible. C says amusing seeing people cry about something that was free. Just really can't please some people. Absolute savages. Brutally honest savages there, C. Brutal. Mate of mine was once applying for the police force in San Francisco. And they asked him about police brutality. And he said it was brutal and unacceptable. And they didn't give him the job. And I told him he should have said it was okay. That's probably what they wanted to hear. Richie Rail has popped in. What's the answer to life, the universe, and everything? 42. Well, you're supposed to give away the answer when you ask the question. Pole dance next up. The doors will open on the left. Careful, the pole is greasy. Don't ask. Now, we're running through here on a diesel on the premise that there's no power because the truck got stuck under the bridge, right? So, what's that 377 running on? Hopes and dreams? Seems a little bit weird. Apple juice catches in your throat sometimes.
This is Polegate. This train.
Train Views UK says, hello Richie. Melbourne Train Dude, hey up Richie. New York Texas Railroad, if you really think about it, the 2D plants are probably why East Coastway has good performance. They probably are, to be honest, because foliage doesn't help. I thought they were walking through a fence, but there's a gate there. It'll be interesting to see how Star Parker runs on consoles. I'll be very curious about that. We've still got people getting in, so I'm not locking the doors yet. There we go. Doesn't seem to be anybody else now. Buzz buzz. Thank you. Off you go, you little green and yellow and white Greta pump. Samantha's Buster says the high street, including a supermarket, hairdressers and convenience store, Polegate sounds so interesting. 41% of the population over 65. Place people move to die. We'd call that Queensland. They're meant to wave, but they don't. Bad boys. Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do when they come for you? Melbourne Train Dude says, buy two, get one free. Benjamin says, sick burn. Don't know what you're talking about. No clue. Not at all. See, he says, I was meant to say sausages, not savages. Bloody auto. Do you know, it came out better as savages, mate. Steve Austin says he should have said it was okay if the skin colour wasn't white. It is, yeah, Northern California, they probably wouldn't go for that. Southern California, I could see that happening. Richie Rail says, no, I'm asking if the answer is 42. Of course it's 42. And it's running on good intentions. Benjamin says, must be the wrong kind of apples. They're very good apples. Very good single malt 18-year-old apples, thank you. It was my treat when I last flew in. I've still got it. Shows you I don't drink much, doesn't it? Richie Rowell says, I hope that's a Simpsons reference, Melbourne. Could be. Ned's spaz out. Couple of miles to Eastbourne, which will be the end of this scenario, I assume. Look at them training us to do the right thing. Set the DRA. Samantha's Buses says Bellarine Peninsula has the highest population of boomers in Victoria. That's why they have so many volunteers on their railway. They have a lot. They do not have a shortage. C says, look, nothing's going to GW remaster, but people should appreciate the amount of hours it took to get remasters done. It's free, people have no right to moan or cry about it. I tend to agree with that. That sounded like the bloke got his tongue stuck in a trumpet. But that's okay. It's fine. Amy, hello! How Discord hide this review for 30 minutes? Why would Discord hide it? YouTube hiding it. My short shadow ban appears to be over. I got one with 2,500 views. For a while there I was getting 3. Which orchard are my apples from? They're from an Irish orchard. Flying Southerner says, Melbourne Trade Dude, I'm alright. Finishing prep for your interview later. Good luck with the interview. I did look at that job. It looks quite good. As I say to encourage people at work, at your point in the career, it's an excellent choice. No one ever knows what that means, though. Richie says, apples scare you. What about bananas? I suppose you are a penguin. Do penguins eat fruit? C says, Gav, that even sounds better. We've got 2 people doing interviews today, so that's brilliant. We've got C and Flying Southerner, aka Cucumber. Both doing interviews, so chuck them a bit of luck. Chuck them some anti-nerves. Both are good individuals, so hopefully they both do well.
We are now approaching Eastbourne.
Amy says, that's why I use Linux. Do you know, Amy, Linux are like vegans. They always tell you. Richie says, oh dear, Amy. Flying Southerner, morning. Amy, I don't doom scroll YouTube much anymore. I can kind of understand that, you know. It's a wise thing to not do it, because it can absorb a lot of hours and it really gets you nothing. If you're just doom scrolling through shorts or something else. It really eats a lot of time. You get the occasional smile, but, you know. That could be worth its weight in gold, though, I suppose. We should probably stop here, shouldn't we? It would be rude to overrun this route. Richie says, lots of fish. Just fish. Richie, a penguin? The animal, the biscuit. He's a penguin. That's all you need to know, Melbourne train dude. Steve Austin says, better to be retired, less stress. I have a few years before that. I would love to do that now. I'm going to have a prelude to retirement weekend because I've got Friday and Monday off. Browse. Friday, I'm going to do something amazingly entertaining like mow the grass. And then Saturday, I've got steam rail. Sunday, I've got U-Lot. It should be fun. I haven't decided what to do yet. Probably railroader again so we can get it out of the way. Should we open the doors and let the people that don't get out off the train, even though they won't officially get off the train? That's okay, though.
Calling at Ashford International only.
Boop.
The next station is Ashford International.
No, forward. Neutral you want. Quiet you. Why would it want neutral? It's a weird thing to do, surely. Thank you for completing this run. Let's see how you performed. Well, more importantly, before we get out of here... Oh, so close. But you did catch a glimpse of Pussy there. There he is. Next scenario, unit drag. I think that sounds like a plan, don't you? I think that sounds like a plan. Let's do it. I discovered something. Actually, I didn't discover it. I was told. In Windows 11, if you haven't turned off fast start, when you go shutdown, it actually doesn't. It hibernates. And I was complaining that my machine at work was really slow, and the guy goes, let's see when you last rebooted. And he goes, 18 days ago. The train has failed at Berwick since you'll be moving empty coaching stock from Selhurst Depot. You're the best. Oh, my instructions went away. God damn it. Doop. Reverse it to neutral. Yes, boss. Day running. Set the tail lights to off. Very good. Stop at location, signal, whatever. We're obviously getting a lot of 171 action today. Off we go. Maybe? Oh, hang on. We didn't go back into forwards. Didn't tell me to do that, did it? Off we go. How was the vigilance on Starra Parker on the 750? Oh, I'd want to tear that thing out and throw it out the window. I don't think I'll be running it too much. Benjamin says, good luck, have fun, don't die. And the Flying Southerner says, you can chuck me coffee while you're at it. All over you? Sounds like a plan. Hello, bad guy. Welcome. Amy says, most Linux users are vegans because they eat penguins. Vegans can take Toby Carvery from my dead hands. Fair enough. Melbourne Train Dude says, see, are you applying to be Richie's new handler? Are penguins hard to wrangle? Wrangle? That sounds... Randall. Hard to wrangle. You know where that came from. It's because we know a Dave Randall. My brain is weird. I apologise for my weird brain. It can't help it. Flying Southerner, for those interested, I'm going for a systems and support engineer role where I work on commercial grade flight sims. It should be a lot of fun. And you can crash planes. Repeatedly. Tree Sim World. That's a pretty big train, isn't it? That's a lot of 171s. It's not one 171, that's lots of 171s. Go away, Dot. Five miles to Signal TEB 1359. Oh, Richie, I got the other thing working. My config file's on the Discord if you need it. Samantha's buses said I should get disability support soon at 36. No work for the foreseeable future. My son's on disability. So, a good thing. So hopefully you do get that, mate. Richie says you have to hold shift when shutting down. Yes, you do. Or you can just turn off fast start. That will also do it. Oh, pick up the apple juice and vigilance goes off. What's going on there? Like it new. And Stara Parker. All day services. The whole day. 8 hours. You're gonna need a juice bottle for that. One to put it in and one to get it out. Melbourne Train Dude says, because you're the best around. Lack of instructions can't bring you down. Fair enough. Amy says, that's been a thing since Windows 8. Unfortunately, it was convenient at school. Didn't have classes where it needed it. Hibernate, also full shutdown every weekend. I must have always turned it off. Because it's very annoying. I don't like it. I don't like it, said Pauline Pantsdown. And if you don't know who that is, you're not Aussie. And be thankful you don't know who that is, if you don't know who that is. Because you wouldn't want to know who that was. If I had to describe her, I'd say she's a girl version of Donald. Get out of the way. Just smack that bloke in the head with a mirror. That really hurt. You will return shortly, just going to get ready for work. Everybody, nudity alert, Richie is nude. Flying Southern said I just disable fast boot on my personal machines for those who want to do it. Open command prompt admin run power cfg/h off. Daily cucumber tech tip. It's a good plan. You can just go into settings too. Since we appear to not have a yellow anymore. Gab says, don't forget us, Richie. Well, Richie will be in the shower. He'll be naked by now, scrubbing down his little rotund penguin body. Bad Guy says, I found a completely broken service on the London Underground earlier today. It doesn't even load a train or anything. It just loads you into clouds, essentially. I had one of those on Cahoon Pass when I was trying to do a run down the hill. I loaded it up and there's no train. It's like, what the? Where's my train? Dude, where's my train? MTD says, Your Majesty, there's a second bus coming at the tower. Very bad joke. Yes. It is true, it is a bad joke. Yes, Shocky, I'm streaming East Coastway again. We're doing the scenarios this time. And if we run out of new scenarios, we might play some old ones. Gav says, wow, MTD. Yes, it's still too soon, MTD. Still too soon. We have a yellow. Did I remember to turn on safety systems on this? I think I did. I did. That's a very bright yellow light, wasn't it? MTD says, please explain. Faithful Baller 8378. What do you think is the greatest train toy company in the world? That's quite the question. There's not many left. There's like Hornby and Bachmann. That's about it. Oh, and the little niche ones. Like Gary Fisher, he's still around. So there's not a lot are in the market, I don't think. Gav says she needs to change her hair from red to grey. Daniel says that usually happens to me. I literally pick up my drink and the safety systems go off to quickly put down your drink. Or use both hands, mate. Which I didn't do because, you know, things on this side. It's over here. This is good, so you can fiddle with these levers because they don't do anything. Give you something to do. Amy says, first thing I have to turn off when I use Windows because I'll be dual booting with the Intel Wi-Fi cards. Are big unhappy with that. Yes, Intel Wi-Fi cards are pretty unhappy at the best of times. What do you think the Essential Train toy company for trains? Most of my stuff, I don't have a lot of model railway stuff anymore, but the stuff that I do have is ON30 Bachmann. And I've got some small company stuff as well. I have an ON30 Puffing Billy, which was, I think Haskell's the brand, but it's actually made by some Chinese assembly company. Bad Guy says, it was quite interesting. I'm looking around like, where is everything? And I'm just kind of floating. Whee! See, now you know what doing drugs is like. Drug sim world. Actually, there is a drug sim world. Just letting the signaller know we're here. Since we do have a red that we're crawling up on here. Chocky says that's a long turbo star. It is. It's a very big one. It's huge. Someone found a little one and rubbed it and it got bigger. Train Views UK had a 2-car 1972 on Bakerloo line on one of the latest streams. Actually, I saw that one, yes. He did. That was funny. Southerner says, all I have to say is that the Czech route is looking absolutely stunning. This is true. And we all have to learn the names. I put a video up with the names. One of my community members named Matty, at least I hope it's Matty, Matey, something like that. It's M-A-T-Y anyway. Sent me a thing with the correct pronunciations, which is pretty helpful, so it's good. It's actually going to make me stop this on the nose, isn't it? That'll do. Doop. Use the phone to speak with the signaller. But the GSMR's not on. Better turn that on first. And after that boots up, we can use the phone. There we go. Hello, driver of Foxtrot 53. You are authorized to pass Singo Tango Echo Bravo 1359 at danger to assist 1 Delta 05. Stopped at Berwick Station and the message disappeared too quickly. Just before you pass, enable TPWS train stop override. So this scenario's all about teaching us stuff. Now, where is the bloody panel? Oh, there it is. That's all we want. Boop. Now, you have to approach at caution, of course. Even though it's 1.2 miles, you'd probably go there at 10 mile an hour, most likely. We won't. Michigan Rail fan, hello. Welcome along. Stara Parker does look stunning, indeed. Very much. We have to all learn that it's Czechia. So it's Czechia. Ah, oh, look at that. It stopped me anyway, even though I pressed the button. Oh, now we have to sit here for a minute. Good. It's good to know that works. Southerner says, I would if I had the money. Wait for a sale if you don't have the money. It's fine. Wait for a sale. It's not an issue in waiting for a sale. Sit here for a whole minute now. What are we going to do? We're going to look at our giant turbo star. That's what we're going to do. It's like an electro star, but it's not. It's huge. Do you reckon that light's gone out yet? Hey, look at that. You do have feet. Who knew? Because when you look down, you don't have feet. Oh, the light's gone out too. Good. Off we go. Faithful Baller asks, why do you think that train toys are not in the market anymore? Because people don't buy them is the answer. People need to buy them. I think there's different outlets these days because you've got all these simulators and other things, so you don't need the space of a railway. So I think they're just not as popular as they once were. They still have a decent following, but it's not enormous. Amy says, don't be mean to Intel Wi-Fi. They're the least worst Wi-Fi cards for the PC platform. MediaTek and Realtek Wi-Fi can burn in Tartarus, while they Broadcom can full stop, not just not Wi-Fi. I have found the Intel Wi-Fi card slows down when you're using Bluetooth in the same computer. Isn't that weird? It's using the same processor. Benjamin says, I hate reading missed messages in the menu. They're so slow. They are. New York, Texas says the MTA, CTA, and Amtrak have a line of wooden trains for kids. Yeah, the wooden trains, I think, have a an endless popularity. But the Thomas wooden trains are good. Hello, Alpha Star. Flying something that says, I think the button cancelled. Well, it certainly did. It didn't work anyway, whatever happened to it. Doo-doo. Where does that crossing go? Farm to farm. Here on Yellow Flower Sim World. Amy says, Czechia isn't the home of Nokia. Misleading. I have to be careful with Czechia because when I get it wrong and I say Chechnya, people get really upset because they're different countries. They get upset. Both of them. I get co-eds. So it's Czechia. Chucky said, I spent all my time, money, and time on rabbits. Could be chickens. Andy Ladd, hello to you. MTZ says only goes 15 or so seconds. TPWS stop override. Would have hoped I moved quicker than that, but I might not have. It would be quite possible. Sun's coming out. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And now you're seeing the secret to making a route look good. We'll have to do this because it looks nice. I think there. Because we don't want narrow depth of field for this. Our giant turbo star is about to get longer. Oh, I see the train now. Bang. Nice. I like that. But there should have been 3, surely. Because, you know, the first one doesn't scare you enough. There we go. Should be 1 more. One more? Aw. Sad now. Amy says you need a 6 car to be able to go anywhere dragging that 377. Yes, it's going to be a hefty one. I'm vaguely surprised they can couple together, to be honest. But, you know, as long as it works, it's fine. Looks kind of like it's got a driver in it, but I don't think so. Alpha says this is the rescue scenario. Very nice. It's a few days back. The weather improves as we go back to Brighton. It is indeed the rescue scenario. I rarely do the scenarios on stream, and I thought, why not? Why not? Emergency does. Use the bone. Hello, bone. You may propel past Singo Tango Echo Bravo 1361 to use the crossover. The driver of the failed train will assist you. Good. I'm in the leading cab. Is off. I'm ready to propel past the crossover. Excellent. Alright, let's push really hard then. We'll turn our headlights off, shouldn't we? Really? Bad Guy says, I very rarely buy TSW DLC at full price anymore. There's absolutely no point to do it. I agree. Wait for a sale. If you can handle the FOMO, wait for a sale. Why wouldn't you? It's just a smart thing to do. Whee! I hear a tractor. And an Electrostar that's making noises, even though it's failed. Interesting. And has no headlights or taillights. Amy says that's not an Intel thing, unfortunately. Even Google Tensor does that. I get like 80 megabits per second on my phone because of my watch. Alpha, I just watched the preview stream with that single track Cozy Route with tons of vegetation. I'm getting that on day one, first minute after release. Cool. Hopefully you enjoy it. Faithful Baller says, what do you think is the greatest trained video game of all time in your opinion? Has to be this one. For the combination of graphics, reasonable physics, not good, reasonable. Actually, no, I'd go good, but not great. And train handling real enough. Systems that work real enough. Routes that work really enough. I think it's a fairly good one. Alpha said in Google's logo look and sound amazing. Oh, goggles. Yes. Bender the locomotive. Bite my shiny metal ass. There you go. I think we can stop there. Surely. Boop. No? You really want me to go all the way? Fine then. Hope that number's not going up. No, it's not. You want me to go another signal, don't you? Faithful Baller, what do you think is the greatest train video? Oh, you talked about that. Alpha says, Melbourne train dude, the pronunciation of these stations are fun though. Any chance you can share the audio? I did a video on it. It went up today. But yes, I can share the audio file as well. Yes, detonators are nice. Squeak. Boop, boop. Set the taillights to on. I don't think so, because we're towing a train. That does not seem right to me. That does not seem right. And are we in B3? We are in B3. Walk to the other end of the train and sit in the driver's seat. I think we should go put taillights on down the back, and we should ignore the scenario and not have them on here. So I think we need to go up to this end of this train and put them on up here. Unless the helpful driver's done it. We'll know in a moment. Whee! No, no tail lights, so we need to put tail lights on. Yeah, tail lights on. That's better. Southerner says Turbo Star's yet to gain an electric personality. Alpha, in my eyes, the single thing that improves any route scenery is the vegetation quality and density and the crops in the farmland. They are all good things. I do worry a little bit about what might happen on consoles, but we'll know soon enough, I guess. We'll see how well they optimise the vego. Whoop. Sounds very much like a Starship Enterprise door, doesn't it? Yeah. Headlights. Denied. Well, that's because we haven't changed direction yet. So surely we need to do that before we do anything else. Come on, Turbo Star. You can do it. See, now we should be able to talk to the signaller. Well, we haven't turned on the GSMR. Now we can. Head code? No head code. Denied. We're still driving up to the signal. There's a train in the platform, isn't there? Followed me in. He blocked me. So is there something coming behind us? Because we have the path. Oh, there is something coming behind us. Look at that. Oh, fun. Let's catch the chat while we wait then. Michigan Rail Fan says, which US route would you like to see remastered? Sand Patch Grade. That was a pretty easy question. Horseshoe Curve could also do with a significant touch-up because it's a bit old. Clinchfield would be nice, but Sandpatch Grade, I think, is the most deserving. Would be good to see that one. Chocky says, this is the reason why the 171 is a thing to start with, otherwise it would be a 170. Fair. It's the entire point of the 171 versus a 170 to be able to assist other rolling stock on the southern network. It's a good thing to do. Unusual for a railway to think that far ahead, but a good thing to do. And they don't need the ROG. Faithful Baller asks, what's the best train station you've ever been to or want to go to? I think the combination New York Subway and path underneath the World Trade Center in the big white station is quite magnificent. It's probably one of the better ones I've been to. Ah, yellow. Let's go. Amy says it should be clear. Melbourne Train Dude says I must have missed the notification for the video. I'll indeed give it a watch. Well, it only went up today, so... It was sitting there private for a while and I noticed it and went, why is that private? It shouldn't have been. Alpha says, have you played the Stara Parker route already? No, I haven't actually. But I hope to get in openness. I hope to get the key before this weekend so that I've got some time before it releases, because it releases on the 10th. And I've got some trains to learn so I can make tutorials, because, you know, those who can't teach. But you still need to learn it. Look at all these sad people going, this perfectly good train, we can't get in. Do you think I'd get in if I stopped? Probably not. you go. That poor bugger can go now. You know, that was a little too quick. Because the points wouldn't have changed that quickly. Burger Enjoyer, hello. Hey bro, just wanted to say I really enjoyed watching your stream, but I gotta cheat on my wife with her bestie before she comes back home. So I gotta go now. Have a nice day. Okay. You alright? That's a thing. Yep. Daniel Robert Jowett agrees with Sandpatch Grade. New York Texas Railroad says that station has sun on windows and roof that only open on 9/11. It is an excellent station, and the fact that it is built in a memorial is also really cool. I need to grab that comment, and I need to drop it in my Discord. What's he going to do if his wife was watching my stream? She's going to go, uh-huh. Best comment ever. Yeah. "13 miles to Brighton." We are going full power and barely managing 52 miles an hour. We'll get there eventually. It's Brighton. Alpha says, yes, looking forward to the tutorials. Just learned the OBB 1020 the other day for Mittenwald Barn from your video tutorial. That's cool. That was one of the hardest ones I had to make, actually, because that train's weird. Amy says, can you reread that without laughing so we can send it to Mrs. TSD? No. Flying Southern said, did you see the new Elgato products? The Stream Deck Plus XL is looking really cool. I haven't actually had a look yet, but yes, it would be. But I have a Stream Deck XL, Stream Deck, and a Stream Deck Plus, so I have plenty of buttons. What I am interested in is building a track monitor for the Stream Deck XL. It's not the Stream Deck XL, the Stream Deck Plus, across that horizontal window. That would be cool. Hello, Mazda 787B fan. Oop, forgot to hoot. We've almost made speed. Wow. Impressive. Thinking, Mrs. TSD, I should copy that out of my Discord and send it to her. Because... funny. So excuse me using my phone while I'm driving a train. I didn't screenshot it. $80 miles an hour, going all right. Can you have TSW stats on the button screens like speed and such? I don't see why you couldn't. You could call them from the API. This is something Vectron's working on. So I don't really see why you couldn't do that. Michael Lay, hello. Amy said I was chatting with Mr. Vectron and we found some modules that would be perfect for an AWS Sunfire and gauge panel. Separate displays for each gauge that are circular. Nice. Sounds like a plan. I'm alright, Michael. I hope you are well too. Don't text and drive, kids. There's Benjamin. New York Texas Railroad says they designed the windows, have the sun rays hit the floor right in the middle of the station at 8:46 a.m. Same time the first tower was hit. I was actually living in the US when that happened. It was a very weird time. Very, very weird. And I was on one of the first commercial flights when they resumed too, and that was, I think we got kicked out of the airport about half a dozen times for screening failures. Well, they worked it out. Hey? Mrs. TSD has a comment about that message. Yeah, he does, Alpha. He's got a Raspberry Pi driving a small touchscreen display that he's displaying the track monitor on. He's going to share the code when he's comfortable and it's all working properly. Something that says Benjamin, a comma might have been useful there, perhaps. Benjamin is in the files, confirmed. Michael Lay is good. Close these curtains, I'll be right back. Hello Ian, how are you? He got both the Raspberry Pi and the display off Amazon, so they shouldn't be too hard to get your hands on. He's going to share the details of the whole project and everything you need. And it would be nice because you can pretend to drive HUD-free. Steve Austin says, with my social media, I'd never be allowed in the USA for the next few years. I don't think I want to go there at the moment. Let things calm down a little bit. It's a bit edgy. That's not my shunt signal, hopefully. It is just a touch edgy at the moment. I think things need some time to develop some calm. That's good, Ian. We're rolling in with our busted train in Tree Sim World. There you go, Peeping Tom World. As you do. Naturally. I'm just watching the video preview because it's not getting the horrible tearing that I'm seeing on my own monitor, which is a bit sad. Makes me wonder if I've got FreeSync turned off. Michigan Rail Fan says, do you know why they don't come up with mods for Xbox? It would be nice to have them. It definitely would. It would. But there are challenges around that because mods would have to get certified. New York Texas Railroad says, I'm just happy I'm too old to be drafted. Yeah, I think both my kids think that too. They're both too old now. That train's busted. Not that one. Yeah, that one. The one you're looking at now. Definitely that one. Amy says, RIP audio. Have we lost audio? There are a couple of games that do have mods on Xbox, but they're not pack files. They're things like Creators Club. So at least you've got that. It's better than nothing, I guess. Bump, bump. Audio is good for Southerner, that's good. Yeah, it looks like it's going out. The stream's not complaining about anything, it's keeping up with the frame rate and everything. Oh no, are we going 12 miles an hour? Ooh, tea and biscuits time. Yes, Xbox does still have an audio problem, unfortunately. It crackles. Yeah. I don't dare come off the power. There we go. Work it, little Turbo Star. Do you know, I did like what Melbourne Train Dude did with the trampoline. But what I don't know is... See, you can only do that. You can bounce on the trampoline, which is a bit silly. Oh, I missed it. That's okay. We'll just pretend that was fine. I did think that was cool when I watched that on history before. Alpha says, do you think DTG would allow mods in the Creators Club in the future? I wouldn't say no, but they'd have to find a way around the console restrictions to make it work. But that would be the way to get them onto the machine. So maybe if they were to go through some kind of verification process so that they could be okayed for console, that could happen. But I do know that verification costs about 20 grand. So they're not going to do it for nothing. But they could potentially do batches or something like that, I guess. Alpha says, like patch mods, sounds, etc. Yeah, it's the kind of stuff that would be really good. BB says, Xbox has an everything problem. Audio, blurrier textures, and Z fighting. Yes, it is a little bit sad. I've been loading up my Xbox with DLCs from Alex, doing some testing for them in particular circumstances that they asked for. So that's done. I'm just hoping they come up with something that I can take part in some testing before it gets out to people. She's struggling on the hill a little bit. Interestingly, I don't think the electric is actually powering, which is good. Chocky says, did you say Little Turbo Star? Yes, I did. Ian's having a giggle. I hold the right thumbstick in and use R2 and L2 to make the camera go up and down. Ah, clever. Or trampolining. Maybe shift up and down on the keyboard. Might work. No, that's in and out. I would plug a controller in, but the Cobra software gets a bit confused when you've got this thing and the controller. Doesn't like having both very much. Alpha would like an explanation of Z fighting. New York Texas Railroad says the Xbox audio problem is what drove you to get a gaming PC. Good investment. Audio is important to me. It's right up there with graphics. And I know the graphics in this game are far from perfect, but it is still the best all-round, lots of DLC train simulator out there. So its graphics are pretty decent. Could be better, but they're pretty decent. You have found pacer number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again. Excellent. There's a tree. It sounds like the Class 66 that follows me everywhere. What did I just see? Tractor graveyard. It ran when I parked it. Michigan says, is TSW capable, could be capable of doing multiplayer? Not really. I think there would be some limited possibility, like doing co-op, where one's driving and one's guarding perhaps. That sort of thing could be possible with the current engine on the same computer or same console. But true multiplayer, no. It barely keeps up with itself, let alone having to work out what other things are doing. Benjamin says Z fighting is when textures and decals mostly in train cabs flicker and fight for position between the main cab layers and the text placement itself. That happens on PC sometimes too. This one doesn't seem to be doing it anywhere. But yes, it's the layers. You can't park there, mate, says Flying Southerner. Modern Train Girl says, you mean ran when you parked it? Of course. More track workers. Doing what track workers do best. Andy says, lock in your face. I assume that's what that means. Amy says the game is really designed around one player existing in a world. It is. My expectation is that Metro Rivals is all about experiments in two things for the future of this game. Multiplayer and Unreal Engine 5. This is my expectation. I also expect that when we do get Train Sim World multiplayer Unreal Engine 5, is that we won't get DLC, and they'll probably get ported over in time, but I think it'll be like the fundamental architecture change that happened in TSW2 when the older stuff didn't come over for ages. Or was it 3? 2 or 3, one or the other, I can't remember which. I think 2. Andy Ladd said, sorry for that, the cat decided to say hello by walking on the keyboard. Well, low in your face is exactly what a cat would say. And Melbourne Train Dude says, Melbourne Train Girl, that's a new one. You could be Melbourne Train Girl if you want to. No one can say you can't. Chocky says, multiplayer would be cool. Indeed it would. I actually think it would be a useful thing. Mind you, in trains it has variable success. In Run 8, it's fairly successful because it's policed fairly heavily on the servers. In SimRail it seems to go okay. I don't think that's particularly heavily policed, but it seems to work alright. In trains you always end up with some idiot like me who's driving their train at 10 mile an hour somewhere in Thomas the Tank Engine while some kind of express thing stuck behind them. And I'd better start slowing down for the big curly thing at some point. Ian says, IMO as humble as it is, that's a lot of people forget that TSW is mainly a train driving game. It is mostly. Guard mode is a little half-assed. It's fun, but it's half-assed. MTD says the Todd 4 lighting overhauls are to align the content for easier porting. No, I don't think that's actually true. Because there is no easy port to Unreal 5. It's a rewrite no matter what you do. The graphics all has to be redone. The lighting system is totally different between 4 and 5. There is no comparison. So no, it's not a port, it's a rebuild. And a lot of the stuff would survive, so the actual basic route materials would survive and come over. And your map and your splines and all that sort of stuff would come over. I don't know how much of the assets would survive. I don't really know enough about it to comment on that. Steve says you need a powerful PC to run anything in UE5, Steve. Not just this, anything. And you see that in Subway Sim 2, that it does take a fairly grunty machine to run that successfully. Maisie May. Who else watches G-Love Trains? Go on, admit it. You know you do. Benjamin says, at the weekend, Matt said TSW will never move to UE5, which I found surprising. Yeah, because it won't be TSW, it'll be something else. You've seen my speculation on this. Look. It's good having a massive button you can just terrorize. Crunch. In we come into Brighton Platform 3. Are we actually stopping in there or are we going to push out? No, we are actually stopping in there. Oh, I thought it'd be a nice opportunity to push it out into the yard. But no. MTD says you think TSW that's not called TSW kind of vibes. So this is my expectation. It'll be a new game. And like some stuff survives from TSC into TSW as a starting point, that's what the routes will be. They'll be a starting point for a DLC. Yeah, losing a bit of speed through the points here. Look at that big snake. MTD says, oh, I got that one. Amy says you like Simrail's multiplayer. They stop you from breaking the timetable too badly. Worst you can do is cause delays. And honestly, that's fine because the signals will shove you out of the way. Yes, I used to play Dispatch on a server in Run 8. And if people annoyed me, they got sidelined and they stayed there. Could you let me out? No, mate, I got 1,410 trains to come through. They're all higher priority than you. New York says, I wouldn't like multiplayer, I wouldn't want some random Muppet on my train. Chucky said, did someone say Thomas? No, no one said Thomas. Thomas, Gordon, Emily, Diesel, And Percy. And James. I actually kind of think James was always my favourite engine, because Thomas is too much of a smartass. Thomas is always the guy that's milking the system. There you go. Another unit will come from Lovers Walk Depot to take the failed train from here. Thanks for your help. Yay. I didn't even get to turn it off. I was just about to. There you go. Next. Iced over. Ice, ice. It's a good song, that. Michigan says, with running a multiplayer on a PC, it took a lot out of my PC. I mean, you could hear the fans running over time. Yeah. Finding the weather coming to work, you'll be driving back and forth between Lewes and Seaford until the weather lets up and we can get the third rail cleared. We're in another 171, aren't we? Ah, you know why we're up here? It's so we can meet the pussy. Hello, Finn. How you doing, mate? I hear a 66. Where's the 66? I can hear it, Dave. Must be over here. There it is. So they can't get the third road clear, but look, it's an Electrostar. What? Uh-huh. Are there any more blue things? No, it's alright. Master key. Night running. Did I just do nasty things to the reverser? I think so. You reckon we've got taillights on the other end, or we need to go have a look? Unlock the doors. Let him freeze, it's only snow. No, it's got tail lights on. Oh, doesn't that look nice? That does look nice. That looks nice enough for one of these. Even though it moved my screenshot, it'll still do. Could be a good thumbnail, actually. Doesn't that make a cool thumbnail? I'm going to snip that because it will make a cool thumbnail. So would that comment. That comment would make a classic thumbnail. Right, there we go. Maybe this will be the thumbnail after the stream. Amy says, if you haven't watched the annoying orange parody of Thomas, you should. I like to think it's canon, even if the fan base would be angry at me. I just remember the comedy company, or was it the other one? Might not have been comedy company, it might have been the other one. With Stevie the stuttering engine, who was always talking about the fat gun, the fat gun, the fat controller. Bad Stevie. But Stevie couldn't help his stutter. Off we go then. Poor Toby. No Toby. Yes, no Toby. I'm sad about no Toby, to be honest. I like Toby. Because who else is going to push Thomas into a lake if Toby's not there? Chocky says, put Toby on the Edinburgh tram on 5 Circle. You could do that. Toby CTS DLC confirmed. I wouldn't be surprised if Toby came out for the old timers. I think for the modern ones, they probably wouldn't even know who Toby was. These headlights actually work. Have you noticed that? That's amazing. I do like that the third parties are stepping away from the concept that headlights don't need to work. I do appreciate that. I think a bit of sand might be in order. Off we go to New Haven. Yes, there is a cat there, you're right. Thomas goes loco listening to the annoying orange boxcar and becomes Thomas the Shank Engine. Ah. I'll have to look for that. Drop a link in my Discord. I don't think I've watched it. This is all gone now. I shall have to swap to water. Whee! That's a red signal coming up. Oh, it's gone yellow. It's alright. We're fine. That looked alright. There was indeed a shed. Third rail doesn't look very iced over. No, it doesn't. But you wouldn't be able to see the black ice. Michigan Rail fan, anyways, I'm out of here. Thanks for what you do, and hey, thanks for being so informative with all your videos. You're absolutely welcome. And thanks for the thanks. It's appreciated. Off we go to Seaford. Amy, if you want to melt all the ice on the third rail, just get to 73 to actually do something, and it'll pull enough amps to melt right through. Harry's shed and Harry's spying on me. Wouldn't surprise me. I did find Harry's cake video that she made for the other game. Yeah, safety systems are on the wall. It was a comedy company. There you go. New York, Texas Railroad. The blue hue of the cab light reminds me of my dentist's office. Ooh. That sounds uncomfortable. There's nothing comfortable about a dentist. New Haven Town is the first stop. Joshness01. Yes, we now know the password to Josh's NAS. Josh Naz01. Excellent. Let's go and hack Josh's NAS. Andy Led said, I wouldn't be surprised me if we get DLC for the Thomas game with the likes of Edward, Henry and Toby at some point. Yeah, I'd be surprised if we didn't. It is all about milking the cash cow. As you do. We're rolling through the snow. Amy says it sounds more like a host name. It could be. Holy Trucker says, flying suddenly you tried guard mode in VR, it's immersive, you have to try it. Gab says, it's funny Mattel haven't seen it or they know it. I'm sure they do. Richie Rail says, you're back after a chaotic start to the day. That was an awfully long shower, Richie. Too many penguins? Suddenly says, shoot, that was meant to go into my putty terminal. That's its host name. Oh, I'm sad. I was hoping it was a password. There you go, Amy. You're right. None for you lot. I should find Harry's cake video for you. I might even have it in history, I guess. I don't think I watched it on this channel. I think I watched it on my other one. Maybe it was on this one. I can't see you guys at the moment. I'm just trying to find the cake video for you. Ah, there it is. I shall pop a link in the chat. Mind you, I could just stream this for just a moment. If I open up Wavelink and turn on that and then go play.
Hello everybody and welcome to my very echoey kitchen. I recently had it done.
There you go, that was Harry. Should turn the browser off in case it makes some funny noises. But I'll pop a link in the chat as soon as I can get this sorted. There we go. That's Harry's dog cake video. As we head for Newhaven town through the dimness of the night with the amazing headlights. I can't get over how good those headlights are. They're fantastic. Benjamin says, Harry says the red yellow is a known issue. New York Texas Railroad, I would say the one making the most money are the console and Steam and Epic, and then Mattel and then Dovetail would be my bet, if I had to guess. We slide on through the aggregates terminal as we start to slow down. It's braking remarkably well for snow, I have to say. Remarkably well.
We are now approaching Newhaven town.
Chucky says, I give up being productive, I'm going to play something. Yeah, absolutely. Play away. Richie says, the penguin escaped. No! Mark. Sutton says, long story short, I have a button on my Stream Deck that says when I press it, it just brings to the login screen for Josh Nash 01. There's the wee woo machine.
We are now approaching Newhaven town.
We may even stop. Good enough? Good enough.
Newhaven town.
Whee! Blinded by the light. Richie Rail says, Harry jump scare. Gav's going to pop it in the Discord too. Yeah, that'd be good. Spam the sand button. Oh, it wasn't a sand button. It was the other one.
Lewes calling at Newhaven Harbour, Bishopston, Seaford, Bishopston, Newhaven Harbour, Newhaven Town, Southeast, and Lewes. The next station is Newhaven Harbour.
So in other words, we're going out and coming back. Amy, yes, they are actually wrong, the yellow reds. Gav says, Harry would jump scare anyone. I don't think so. Suddenly says we need a video of Harry making a shed cake. Oh, what an idea. What do you think, Richie? We take Harry a shed cake. Am I not in the wrong... Oh no, there is a platform over here. Okay. I was quietly thinking to myself there's only one platform, but no, there's two. Wee woo, wee woo.
This is New Haven Harbour.
Poor kitty standing out in the snow. And of course, Brian Ferry. Steve says we don't see much of the snow in the UK these days. Yes, the world's getting warmer. Unfortunately, we get some monumental summers now, more monumental than we used to get. And we used to get monumental summers, now we get super monumental summers. Meow. Yeah, cat's watching the train go by. It's thinking to itself, I don't think I can eat it. I don't know what it is. Just want it to stay over there. Off we go for Seaford. Benjamin says, I have no idea how it breaks so well. Ooh. Gav says, now I have to do an AI image of Harry making a 66 cake. Ian says, a UK train driver that said headlights are for you to be seen, not to see, but for the game it helps if the lighting effects were better on many routes. You know, Ian, that comment was actually true in about the 1960s, but from the 70s and 80s onwards, not so much. That's when they started using lights that actually worked. Richie says, I asked my colleague, no luck catching them penguins, eh? They just look at you funny, right? It's just the one penguin. There you go. I think we should do an Ambassador Bake-Off, which is what I'm sure you meant, rather than an Ambassador Back-Off. Mighty Clash of Clans. Hello. See your base decoration and join my clan. Well, no, I don't think so. And I think you can go away for a little while. Bye. Enjoy yourself, Mighty Clash of Clans, self-promo demon. You could have got rid of that, Richie. Melbourne Train Dude says, excellent stream. I'm going to go and try and catch an early night off to Broady in the morning. It's quite a trip for you. Good luck with your trip. I hope it goes well. And the Flying Southerner says, have a good one. Richie says, really boring climate change. In fact, climate change actually means we get warmer summers and colder winters, so technically it's too cold to snow. Yeah, okay.
We are now approaching Bishopston.
Too cold or too dry? Yes, your penguin joke did fall a little flat. New York says they should have a camera next to the cat. A rail fanning cat. There's an idea. It's like one of those little cats that you see with the video, so they've got one under their neck and they run around finding other cats. And you get lots of close-up video of cats sniffing cat bums. There's a lot of lights on in those caravans. Should we wake everybody up? Yep. Welcome to the new day, people. They're all just going to pop down to Seaford to go to the beach, no doubt. I think we just got an umbrella fold through the cabin. Bit uncomfortable. Alrighty.
This is Bishopston.
Pretty little flower. Amy says, I heard this said about LU lights, and it's a case where I get it. You can't use the station lights as a guide. Chucky says, ambassadors, back off. Good timing, Brian. Steve says, we're going to go to boarding school in Seaford. Or used to. Oh, fair enough. I could think of worse places. Hello, Hawks. Richie says you need a certain temperature for snow, too cold and it just becomes frost. Yeah. The penguin thing was a Hot Fuzz reference. You need to watch that if you haven't already. Ooh, look at the sparks. We're melting the snow. Well, we were before the train gave up. Bit of sand. Horny train, says Gav. Could be. Maybe I should make a button for Harry as well. Welcome to my kitchen. Off we go to the Ford of the Sea, which would be quite a feat. Ian says for snow the temperature has to ideally be between 1 and 3 degrees Celsius, 33 to minus 37 Fahrenheit.
We are now approaching Seaford.
Richie studied climate change for a year or two at uni, so he knows a thing about it. I was almost Greta during my uni days.
How dare you?
I forgot she turned up there when I moved myself. Andy says, yeah, I know about the reference for Hot Fuzz. Richie's still one of my favourite films along with Shaun of the Dead. That's a good one. Wake up, Seaford. Coming in hot, Mum. So I assume we're going back. Does look that way, doesn't it? Back to Lewes. Gav wants to know if that's when Richie had more hair. Naughty Gav. Being a bit gentle on the brakes.
This is Seaford.
Now we better wait and do what we're told with the shut down this cab. Okay, it just wants us to do it ourselves. That's fine.
Calling at Bishopston, Seaford, Bishopston, Newhaven Harbour, Newhaven Town, South East, and Lewes. The next station is Bishopston. Welcome aboard the Southern service to Lewes. Calling at Bishopston, Seaford, Bishopston, Newhaven Harbour, Newhaven Town, South East, and Lewes. The next station is Bishopston.
We did get the master key out, didn't I? Oh yeah, it does come out. Oops, forgot the wipers. Come on. Come on. Right, there we go. Creepy. There's still a few people that haven't gotten off. Not many, though. Wait until 7:33. I think that's about everything we need to do except those. That'll do. And off we go to Lewes, home of Huey Lewes. Did anybody get in? No. Sucks to be them. I have seen Hot Fuzz, Richie, yes. Uni and then marriage is why you lost your hair. Shan? You missed the comment that we had, Richie. When you were gone? This bloke popped in to say hello and said, I've got to go because I'm shaking my wife's bestie. I was like, alright. 10 points, mate. Can I change the brightness on the dials? I don't see anything that does that. I should probably turn this on too. No, I don't see anything about dial brightness anywhere. Anywhere? No. Never mind. That's okay. We'll put up with overly bright dials. Off we go to Bishopston. I've got a cat named Buzz. It's an office day for me tomorrow, excitingly, but it'll be the last one for the week because I've got Friday off and then Monday off. I've got Steamrail on Saturday morning for as long as it takes. Stream Sunday. I'm also going to go to the One Turner Steam Show because I haven't been to that for a few years. Go and get some video, have some fun. Oh, did you scroll back and find? Yeah, scroll back and find the comment, Richie. Unless you're on your phone, you might never find it. But yeah, that was that person's been in the chat before. Alrighty. Oh, bit of an early stop, but it'll do apparently.
This train is the Southern service to Lewes, calling at New Haven Harbour, Bishopston, Seaford, Bishopston, New Haven Harbour, New Haven Town, South East, and Lewes. The next station is New Haven Harbour.
I made most of my comments, Andy, even the ones I accidentally say. Richie says, that's wild. Yes. Gary Reddy S6X, take a left. We will at Lewes. Richie says he can't see it. It's in my Discord, Richie. I'll DM it to you. Just let me get the train moving. Yeah, that's it. don't see why Pacific Surfliner wouldn't work New York, Texas Railroad. I actually think it would be a good route. I also think that Brightline in Florida would make a good one. I think they'd be both quite fun. You're with my wife right now, Gary Reddy. I doubt that. Mind you, she's not actually in her chair, but I doubt it. Bad Guy says, you know you're having a night when you're hungry at 2 o'clock in the morning. This is true. Did you get stoned? We're heading back for another flyby with Brian the ferry. One of the things I liked about Star at Parker was I was pretty sure I could actually hear the Hassler speed recorder going tick, 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 like they do. I kind of like that.
We are now approaching New Haven Harbour.
It's breaking my wheel lock there. You're just a fat kid at heart, Bad Guy. Aren't we all, mate? Aren't we all? The only reason you can't see my man boobs all that well, well, actually you can, but 2 t-shirts. Benjamin says Brightline would need to simulate all the level crossing collisions. They do a pretty good job of that in the San Bernardino route when you run into trucks. Richie says, I'm just a fat kid, that's all. Go on, you. You can stop. You can do it. Come on. There you go. This is a train. Shouldn't be surprised that it's a train. Bad Guy says it's okay, I have a set of my own. It's okay to double up the message. It's still funny. It's funny twice. So when you think you're a young bloke, you think it'd be great if men had boobs, give you something to play with. And then later in life you get them and you go, eh. We are slipping. Slippy, slippy. Alright, less power then. Finally we get traction back. Not that we want to go too hard anyway. If food didn't want to be eaten, then it wouldn't taste so good. This is true. The Bad Guy says 2 a.m. ramen. Well, it's here, ramen, kebab. Any of those things go well at 2 o'clock in the morning. The snow is getting over the running rail, but it's not higher than the 3rd rail. The Bad Guy said, isn't that the kind of thing that marriage is supposed to cure? Dunno. For some funny reason, I'm not going to come hearing into the platform full bore. Don't know why. It's not. Richie says, I'm a slag for a pastry. That's my issue. Now, when I first read that, Richie, and we'd just been talking about man boobs, I thought you said you were a slag for a pasty. You know, those things. I'm all getting blinded by my headlight. It's magnificent. Oh, that'll do. Weak. Bad guy said the part where you said when guys are younger they wishing they had boobs, and then when like they get older they get some, and I think that isn't that the part where marriage is so secure, the fact that you know. And well time from Brian the Ferry. It could be, bad guy. I hadn't really thought about it. These people going over the yellow line. Bad people. We'll pretend we did this. Can't you just imagine British Ace checking tickets in the back there? Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo. That road doesn't go anywhere, does it? Fair enough. You're just addicted to food in pastry form. I have to admit, a nice Cornish pasty is a good thing. Do they ever open? Must be a long block. Oh, give up. Back to the train. Shed. Why are its headlights on the wrong way round? Oops. Hey, Ibby, how are you? Welcome along. Richie says you need to try a lamb oggie from Wales. It's the size of 3 Cornish pasties. I have. I ordered one, not knowing what it was, and it was massive. It was lunch and dinner. It was pretty nice too. Steve Austin says after 35 years of marriage, it's like eating the same cake. You just want some more different cake. You're going to get in trouble, Steve. You realise we both have 35 years of marriage? Benjamin says pasty? Yes, pasty. They are pretty gorgeous, Richie. Ibby says, I'm good, thanks. Feel ill and tired. Woke up at 4 AM to a very loud alarm. Stayed up till 7:30. Slept until 9:30 and now you feel ill. That's not good, mate. I hope you feel better. Get up and have some dry toast or something to soak up the acid that's probably bothering you. Suddenly I was just watching the Harry making a cake video, Harry's partner's reaction. Wow, it's a cake. Yes, Harry make a cake. That's Harry making a cake. Poor little thing was struggling a bit there. That's good, Ibby. It feels like it's going away. Good wishes there, Chucky. Southeast.
This train is the southern service to Lewes, calling at Lewes, New Haven Town, New Haven Harbour, Bishopston, Seaford, Bishopston.
Bad guy says I like Harry a lot. She seems like a very nice person. Only listened to her for so long before constant talking burns me out to the point that I want to sleep. She does talk a bit. But she is a nice person. Having met her in person, she is a very nice person. Richie says, believe it or not, me and Shan are almost celebrating your 6-month anniversary. Only another 34.5 years to go. Well, I'll be dead then, mate. That's morbid, isn't it? But it's probably likely. Ibby says, just based off the intro, I can tell that video is going to be cinema. Yes, it is pretty funny. Gav says, damn, I want proper ice cream. I'll have to move it from Moggy and Bad Guy. Yes, Moggy, the stealer of the ice creams from the DTG freezer. Richie said, someone told me you're immortal. Pickled, maybe. Not immortal. I was wondering why the sky was going pink, but it's dawn, isn't it? Next stop, Lewes, which is actually our last stop. And it'll probably be the last stop on the stream too, I think. And get an earlier one than last time. Because getting up early and going to the office is a little bit painful when you've stayed up till midnight. Right, late. Button that says, actually, here's a question. Have you ever played Truckers MP? I don't think I have. I do not think so. Bad guy says, I'll be 70 and 34 and a half years. 70 and a half. There you go. Hippie says, apparently SBB ordered 50 new 300 km/h high-speed trains. What are they going to run them on? Those tracks aren't very straight. But good luck to them. I hope they don't go like some of our train orders and actually fit in their stations. Gav says, Paul's pickled and fragile. I'm not that fragile. Steam engines don't kill me. They try to, but they don't. Andy says, it'll be 22 years married for you this year. I deserve a medal for putting up with it so long. Yeah, well, you've just worked off your murder sentence. Yeah, for me it's 35, mate, so, you know. Richie says you need to be immortal. Who else will help me configure a hard drive at 4 AM? That was kind of funny. Bad guy says, do you know what's funny, Paul? When you're younger, you want to be up all night, but your parents make you go to bed, and by the time you're old enough to want to stay up all night, you can actually stay up all night. You're too old to do it, you just want to sleep. Yeah. It does work out that way. Yeah, if you don't get enough sleep, you start feeling like shit. Ibby says they have some awesome tilting trains. That'd be good. Southerner says you need to take you on the Calais-Duisburg road then. Trust me, it'll make for some good content. Benjamin says, how do you order trains that don't fit? Well, they don't get they order carriages that are longer, so they don't fit on the curved stations. They hit the platform edge in the stations because they didn't think about the curve. That's what happened. There's also our HMCCs, which are one of the newer train sets in our latest tunnels, keep coming out with bits ripped off them because they've hit something in the tunnel. Gav says, and gets a 4 AM phone call. Well, you know, he pinged me. He pinged me in Discord, so I went, I'll just ring him. I knew it was 4 AM, but I figured he's awake. But he'd fallen asleep by the time I rang him. But it worked out all right. We got it done. And we didn't wake up Shan. It was a good thing. Because I think there would have been a degree of unhappy if we woke up Shan. Richie's job for the next 300 years is to keep Shan happy. Shan was dead to the world, says Richie. I think Shan would have got some good exercise, Gav, yelling at Richie. I do like that you can actually hear the air brakes going on and off in this, and it's just a little spit on the air valve, which is what it should be. Sudner says, I'll be like when Richie selected Hass as his number 2 if you guys work her up. Ibby says, my dumb brain thought the new route got announced was the Portugal route. I was disappointed when I saw Czechia instead. Actually, it looks like quite a nice route, Ibby. We'll soon know, I guess. As I mentioned, I'm hoping to get it for the weekend, so I've got time to learn the 2 trains, because they don't look... The commuter one doesn't look too bad, but the freight one actually looks a little bit complex. And I've got material for making a signalling tutorial from a local named Matty, or Matey. There, last stop for the evening. Glad you made it back. Let's see how you did. Badly. Gav says, I can imagine Richie on that next plane to Australia. Yeah, Shan said I have to live here now. You took an arrow to the knee, Benjamin. Bloody hell. I got kicked in the knee once in a hockey game. I've been whacked in the knee with a stick. There we go. Platinum. That's not too bad. But anyway, I will be back on most likely Sunday. Don't know about Friday. I've got too much to do on Friday, I think. But the 750 is the one that looks like Bender. Wait, my shiny metal train. Richie says, Shan wouldn't let me. She doesn't want me going anywhere near the Middle East. Yeah, well, our airline that we're flying into the UK with later in the year is in fact grounded right now until the 10th of March. So hopefully Trump will get bored before August. This is my hope. But anyway, that's been it for today. I'll be back on Sunday. I suspect I'll probably run Railroader on Sunday, even though it's 2 weeks in a row, because I just know that the Maintenance Way update is not very far away, which means the terrible intercity transport system will die soon. So I think it's worth keeping that going. And I have been trying the dual streams with Sunday morning and Sunday night. So Sunday night we'll probably play something different. I do have a game in mind. We will see. Alrighty. Enjoy. Have fun, folks. Enjoy yourselves, and we shall see you later. Thanks very much for coming in, everybody. Bye. That was the wrong button. I confidently pressed the wrong button. You know how AIs are really confident and they get it completely wrong? Like that. Let's try that again. Bye. Bye.